Thank you, Representative. For the discussion, Representative Evans.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. To the bill.
To the bill.
Colleagues, as one of the freshmen, one of the new folks here, one of the things I actually look forward to is debates on the big issues like today. And as I've been sitting here and thinking and trying to figure out what I'm going to say that hopefully will matter at least a little, I'm reminded of the old adage that sometimes the perfect can be the enemy of the good, sometimes even the great. And I appreciate everybody that was involved in this process, those that had the things they wanted in it and those the things that didn't. I think we're always smarter and better when everybody at least has a chance to speak. I rise today in support of Senate Bill 454B, as it is, and I happen to believe it may well be one of the most consequential pieces of legislation, one of the biggest bills that we get to consider here. Now, to be honest, there are some things I wish were a little different. Some places I would have tweaked it. I wished a few of the numbers would have been a little different. But none of that gets in the way of the fact that we have an opportunity to do something good, perhaps even great, even if it's not perfect. We all, as has been said before, come here to the legislature and look at issues through the lens of our life experience. And for good or for ill, you're stuck with a guy who spent probably too many years in weird places around the world trying to make some kind of sense out of chaos. You see, I actually believe that all people, all workers, should get access to paid sick time. I believe small businesses, by the way, should be given help to pay for that. I actually offered a bill, 3504, to do that. I plan on issuing that bill, offering that bill each and every term that the citizens allow me to be here. But at the end of the day, I happen to believe that 11-year-old Salvador Trujillo and his family should have the same access, the same opportunities, including to paid sick time off, as folks living in more advantaged circumstances. Now, this isn't a rural or urban thing. This isn't a rich or poor thing. It's a rural and urban, rich and poor. Because I happen to believe that this bill is not actually about the worker as much as it is about national security. Now, some of you may not know this because it's not the sexy news. It's on the TV all the time. But we are sending another 450 folks back to Iraq, bringing the number up to 3,550 in country. Another 45,000 around the region. They're not going there for vacation. They're going there because somebody somewhere says it is important to our national security. Sometimes we have to make choices that aren't easy. That's why we're elected. This is one of those times. When I worked for Governor Kulingoski, after I came back from Afghanistan, I was given the opportunity to be a senior policy advisor for emergency management. Some of you may remember, in the 08-09 timeframe, the avian flu, H1N1, we actually had a circumstance in this state where we didn't exactly know how far or fast the contagion would spread. Schools shut down, if you recall. Communities were concerned. The contagion was moving faster than we thought it would, and we had a planning meeting in Portland to discuss what options were available. And as we went around the room and the folks from different regions talked about what equipment and what options were available for treatment, it became very clear that there weren't enough ventilators, there weren't enough docs, there weren't enough supplies in the system if this thing wasn't caught quickly. So here's the deal. We live in an age where we are more interconnected with the rest of the globe than ever before. We live in an age where by nature or by terrorists, we have the ability to be impacted, for our economy to come to a standstill at a moment's notice because of contagion. See, the one thing about being human, rich or poor, urban or rural, is that we're human and our bodies are susceptible to certain types of diseases. I believe this bill is an important first step. I believe it is the right thing to do. I agree that we need to find ways in the future to make it more effective and helpful for small business, to find ways to perhaps adjust and tweak it in the future for agriculture and timber interests. But at the end of the day, we can't let the search for the perfect get in the way of a good or great start to at least potentially preventing the next contagion, keeping workplaces safe, and perhaps even saving a life or two. I urge and I vote for this bill. Thank you.